Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Still Standing Podcast. I'm your host, Deduction Jones, joined by Joe Zombie. How you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm excited to get things going, to talk about all the stuff we have done this past week. We've taken part in, some things that maybe we weren't so high on, and some things that, we're rediscovering that we still enjoy.
There were some things that were super fun, and there were some things that were not super fun.
The good with the bad, right? That's what it's all about.
Correct. Absolutely.
But there's something I haven't asked you about yet, because I was waiting on camera to do it.
Sure.
But I saw you playing a game last night, I think. We can just kind of start the games we've been playing stuff, but I'm just super curious. And Hover?
Oh, yeah. So I saw that was on sale for like $4 on Xbox, and I looked at it, and it looks like Jet Set Radio Future, and since they don't seem to be releasing a remaster of that anytime soon, I was like, okay. So it seems to have some kind of online component, and I think it might actually have where you can literally like do everything like an open world where you can actually play it co-op with friends.
Sure.
So it has like that online component where you can do Jet Set Radio Future, but online, but it's their version of it. And so you have it's almost like soap shoes, like Sonic, like you can like wall run, and you can like literally just like grind on the ground. Like you just take off running and hold the left trigger, and you're just like grinding. And then you just like, you can like grind on rails and stuff. You can wall run, you can run up walls, you can grind and then kick, like jump in the air, do a flip, and then reverse your direction and land and start skating backwards on your soap shoes. And
I looked at a trailer once I saw you were playing it, because I was like, what is this?
And then
it looks interesting.
It's pretty fun. I was having the controls are a little obtuse at first, and it's interesting because there's like you can like mash Y to talk to people, or the left bumper, or you can mash like A to jump, or some other thing, or you can like hold left bumper to like use your scanner, but if you keep tapping left bumper, then you pull out a can of spray paint and start shaking it. So there's like it's like context sensitive controls.
So each button does more than one thing, I guess.
Yeah, so like right trigger will a button jumps, and right trigger jumps as well. So if you hold right trigger, then you can do a longer jump. If you hold A, you can do a longer jump. So they've got where you can play on paddles and bumpers, or they've got where you can play on the face buttons. And so
sure.
Yeah, but I played the tutorial, and then they're like, okay, well, you've learned how to play the game, so now we're actually going to unlock your suit so you can actually do all the cool stuff. And I was like, okay, I was wondering why this was just like a parkour jumping thing. And then they're like, nah, just like go out there and just have fun. And you're like, what? And then there's like a storyline and like a resistance and people and all this stuff. It's like, instead of like the Rikaku Police, DJ Professor K coming at you, instead of that whole thing, it's you're part of a resistance, and it's this is the only part of it that's terrible, is the name of the resistance is the Gamers TM. But the rest of it is like actually a pretty solid game. There's a ton of characters that all have that like same style of character from Jet Set Radio, but like some of them are aliens because it's future-y.
Sure.
But that game is pretty neat, and
I downloaded it last night, but
I think it could be
going
fun
to bed before I actually started playing it.
Yeah, I think it could be fun, and if that thing is as co-op as it looks like, that could be like a pretty fun game we could play. So
yeah, it looked like it was kind of drop in and drop out.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and it asks you, it's like, hey, do you want to be online or offline? And I was like, I'll do offline right now because I don't know what that's going to do. And I started playing around. I was like, okay, this could be fun in online. I see that.
Do you know what? I will always appreciate a game that allows you to do drop in, drop out co-op for stuff like that.
Correct.
As much as we tried to play Elden Ring co-op with a lot of stuff when we were first playing it, and that when you talk about an obtuse co-op system.
Yes, but it works for that, and you understand how it works. And once you do, you're like, oh, this is really good for this game. Like, it wouldn't be good for like Call of Duty, like to be like, oh, you shot a dude, now leave the match and get queued back up for someone else to summon you with a wax finger candle to go shoot someone else. Like, that wouldn't work, but it works in Elden Ring. Just like in Sea of Thieves, like one of us can go like start a crew with the ship and get like a big ship ready and start supplying the ship, and then everybody can just drop in or drop out. It's like, oh, you don't have to close down the session because one guy wants to go to bed if you want to struggle to drive a galleon with 3 people, then you can do that. If you're like, oh, well, we're almost done, and they're like, well, I've really got to go. You're like, okay, well, then everyone else can keep doing what you set out to do, and then you can be done, and then everyone can drop out.
Yeah. The only problem you run into is like when you're on like a sloop and like another person wants to play.
Right.
Like,
then you run into the situation where it's like, well, we like this session we're in. We're having fun, but we are going to have to leave the session, roll the dice on how many jerks are going to be in the new lobby, and to get a bigger boat. So I do wish you could, there's some, we'll get into it. There's definitely some matchmaking gripes I have with Sea of Thieves with this new event they've done. It really,
understatement, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
We chronicled a bit on our Twitter.
Oh yeah, it's that is my least favorite event they've done so far, which is sad because it's one of the coolest things in the game, but it is. Anyway, we'll get into that.
It's a lot of fun.
I digress for now. We'll get into that. I digress. What have you played this week?
Let's see. Been playing some Call of Duty Zombies a bunch.
That has been a lot of fun. That's been good times.
I was trying to get a bit, get some of the stuff on the battle pass that I wanted, like the new LMG and stuff that they had put out, so I didn't have to do some weird challenge.
So this is part of the news, but I'll go ahead and mention it now and just mark it out. But the new season dropped today.
Yeah. I already bought that battle pass. So,
okay, sweet.
I had the COD points, so I was like, I'm just going to grab this now.
So I'm going to pick that one up. But also, we need to be playing as much zombies as we are having fun playing, because until May 2nd, it is double everything.
Yeah.
So it is double, and I wrote down the list because it was a lot. It is double player, weapon, operator, clan, and battle pass XP. So all those things can be doubled. Yeah. It is a max. It's called the max double XP time period, whatever. So they're doing that event. So that is like leveling up everything you've ever wanted. Now would be a good time to get a good jump start.
If there's an operator or a weapon that you want, absolutely go play right now.
Absolutely. Also,
because that's what I guess like 5 days worth of double XP.
of double XP. You can get a lot done in 5 days. Also, there's a new. I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about this now. There's a new map. They've added in trophy system as the anti-explosion defense thing. You can unlock. That is a piece of equipment. And of course, they're adding in like giant monster boneyards and stuff like that you can go do in Warzone for Season 3. And they're adding in Godzilla, King Kong, and Mechagodzilla, both as playable characters and as in-game event monster things that we've seen for like Operation Monarch or whatever it is. Looks awesome. That's why I reinstalled Warzone, because that looks super dope.
I wish you didn't have to have Modern Warfare on my hard drive to do it, but
yeah, they really need to just make a Warzone executable and just keep updating that, because man, it is such a pain in the dick to be. I mean, it's fine, like whatever we play. If we're gonna play it, we're gonna install it anyway. But like that, Warzone is not as big as Modern Warfare is, and Modern Warfare is like 100 gigs, and it's just like that's a fifth of a hard drive, my man. What are you thinking?
The only thing I can say about it, at least we don't have to have it on the internal if we have an external drive.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's helpful.
That is true. Also, they are supposed to be doing Shino Numa is going to be a round-based zombie map that is supposed to be added at like the tail end of Season 3 or the beginning of the next season after Season 3. Like they're like actually bringing in and overhauling and redoing a map, like one of the most famous maps, the swamp map from Black Ops or World at War or whatever. I forget which game it was in because it's been re-released like 4 times at this point, so I apologize if I don't remember the first game it was in.
I think it was in Black Ops.
I don't remember if it was Black Ops 1 or if Shino Numa. I want to say it was like Darius Diamond. It wasn't Diamond. It was like Darius Shino Numa, the one that's there was the Insane Asylum, and then like the OG one were in like World at War. Right?
Yeah, maybe. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Black Ops 1 was World at War. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember if it was Black Ops 1 where they started adding the DLC maps, because one of them ended up getting like Shangri-La, and I hate that fucking map. That
was Black Ops. Black Ops had Shangri-La.
They don't ever have to bring that map back.
The napalm zombies that were basically the worst version of a Boom Schreier.
They don't ever have to bring that map back. That map was not fun. It was way too complicated, and it was obtuse, and it was not fun. They can bring back the one with George Romero chasing you as like Mr. X constantly though. That one was super cool. But
that was a lot of fun with Danny Trejo and Sarah Michelle
Danny
Gellar,
Trejo, Robert Englund, and then Roker, right?
Yeah, and
I have a movie poster of that somewhere that I got from GameStop rewards like years ago. That it should be in storage somewhere at my parents. But like that is a super cool poster. I hope that has survived all these years, because if it hasn't, I'll be sad.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been I actually played a little bit of, because you'd been talking about it the past few weeks. I downloaded and played a bit of Dragon's Dogma last night. That was the thing
good. The game's so good. I love that game so much.
I don't know how much I'll actually play of it, because when it comes to this like period that we have right now, where we can kind of go back and play some of the things that have been on our minds to play.
Sure.
That may start falling lower on my list, because I know I've been talking about it, and I feel like I've got to just buckle down and do it. Play some Cyberpunk at some point, maybe in the next week or so, depending on
it's a really good game.
How much time I get during the day.
Sure, it's a good game.
but yeah, I mean, and maybe at one point we'll just like have a game club type thing and just do. That's what will force me to play it. I don't know.
I do think that would be fun. I don't want to reinstall it until we do that, because I keep thinking about restarting it because all the new updates and stuff. And I've logged into one of my characters and played around with the patches, and it is some really cool stuff. But I don't think that I want to touch that again until we do a game club, or until new content comes out. Just because, it's a really good game. I really like it, and I'm excited to see the new stuff. But I kind of would like to. I don't want to play through the whole game and then start it again because of a game club thing. So
I get you.
Yeah.
I played like one match of Warzone last night, because I played Warzone when it was like a few times back when it was a thing, when it first came out, but I had played it for the first time in like a year or so, and I was in the match for all of 45 seconds before I got sniped.
Weird.
Yeah, I did not have time to find a gun yet. I was literally running from building to building to find a gun.
Were you playing on like the huge island or the little island? Because there's two different modes. There's like Rebirth Island, which is like a really confined space, and then there's like
I was playing on the big island.
Okay, got you.
I got to do my first gulag thing, and I got out of there.
Sure.
And then I ran around for.
It's a fun mechanic. It's a fun mechanic. Yeah. We don't talk about it enough, but it is super fun.
Yeah, I won my 1v1 in the gulag, and I got back on the map, and then I ran around for 5 minutes, finding nobody somehow after that. And then I was running across the street, and someone, blew me up with a rocket launcher. So
I like how tactical that game is. It's Fortnite this season has actually made me want to play Warzone, if that makes sense, because it's like Fortnite doesn't have the building in it, which makes Fortnite more fun, but also a game that's built from the ground up with more of the tactical ideas and like actual like you can like prop up on the doorways and aim out and do all that little stuff. Like I was just kind of like maybe I just want to play Warzone, because if I'm going to buy the battle pass anyway, I've already got it installed for this.
Do I like Warzone?
Yeah, do I? Yeah, because it's like okay. So I played some of the small map, the Rebirth Island map, where it's like
I have not played that island.
It basically looks like Liberty Island. It's so small, and like it just drops everybody on this like really really confined area, and the circle starts way further out, or whatever, and it comes in, and I got to like 4th place, and I took a clip that I did last night where my teammate, we had some random dude wearing a ghillie suit. It was a trio. It was a random dude wearing a ghillie suit. I was John.
So you were playing a team. I was doing solo.
I was John McClane. And Snoop Dogg was my wingman.
That's a hell of a setup there.
So we had random ghillie suit guy, John McClane with no shoes, tank top, the whole shebang, and then Snoop Dogg. Me and Snoop Dogg got all the way to the end. Snoop Dogg got gunned down in an alleyway, and then it was me, John McClane, running out with an LMG going, "Welcome to the party, pal!" And I gunned down the entire team. Literally just mowed them all down while they were looting Snoop Dogg's corpse. Just like...
John McClane did not like the fact that Snoop Dogg got gunned down in an alleyway.
No way.
Which sounds like an actual plot to a Die Hard movie.
It sure does. It was
like
awesome.
A scene that could have been.
And like moments like that made me go, I think I see why I should play more of this. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good thing. It just happened. Yeah, it was like,
it's also like one of those things where like there are weapons in that game from Vanguard, Modern Warfare, and Black Ops.
Correct. And there are guns in that game that I don't have unlocked yet.
Yeah. Oh, there are plenty of those for me. I was like, no.
Right, but it was like I got to use that Armaguerra, the Argarera, whatever it is, that SMG, and I literally just went, and I was like, I don't want to use that. I can't aim with this. Give me this LMG. A cool thing about Warzone is that you can actually, like, if you get enough cash, you can actually call in your like custom loadouts that you make.
Yeah, you can get your loadouts. You can go buy to the buy station.
Then you're like, I prefer the guns that I've balanced to my own liking, and I'm just like, I haven't played enough Warzone to have made a thing that I like. But
the biggest problem I have with that stuff is especially when it comes to like multiplayer, to actually make a lot of those weapons viable in things like Warzone. Like you take those like ultra rare blueprints, like I have that M16 that's made out of like the alien stuff.
Right.
Like by the time you like actually put all the attachments on it to make it like a really good weapon in that mode, it loses all the flavor off that rifle.
Yeah,
like it's super unfortunate.
That is the one thing about their masterwork weapons is that yes, you have like, each one of these pieces gets a skin that makes it look like this instead of that gun just looking like that forever. Yeah. So if you're like, I need to replace this barrel because this is not the extra damage barrel, I need the extra damage barrel on it. So it just puts an M14 or M16 barrel on the front of it with the padding on it. And then it's like, well, I also need to change this scope out from the sight. And so you lose the weird alien tentacle scope and it turns into just like an ACOG sitting on top of it. And you're just like, well, at the end of this, I just have a weird creeper. I just have a weird creeper eye. Like, the one that stands out in particular, the alien thing still looks like an alien gun. It's fine. The keytar still plays like a keytar if you have the base thing on it. That's fine. But the dragon gun looks like garbage if you swap the barrel out for the more damaging barrel, because then you just have this dragon with giant wings. And then a gun barrel, no head.
Yeah, no mouth.
You swapped the neck and the head off to swap it out for another thing.
Yeah, so I saw someone do that with the one that recently came out for, I think it's called the STG, the one that makes it look like that blade. Like it looks like a sword.
Sure.
Like basically when you like swap it out for the parts that you should have on it.
Final Fantasy VIII gun.
No, it loses everything, but on the handle of the weapon you have like the brass knuckle knife part, and that's the only part left of it.
Weird.
Like that's all you've got. You've got a regular gun with a cool handle.
That's why I focus on skin packs for Call of Duty, and I've kind of given up on purchasing
like a lot of those masterwork bundle type stuff. I'm like, that's not.
Yeah, it's because it's like I realize they're going for a certain type of build when they make those, and they want you to use them in that way. But also, what's the point if I can't mix and match my stuff and make it look cool? Like,
or because just because it looks cool doesn't necessarily mean I like how it works with those attachments.
It may be a play style that I don't like, but I like that skin. Yeah. So correct.
And then you kind of run into that thing of like, oh, this was cool. Not really cool anymore.
Yeah. It now has the front end of a boat on some dragon wings. Yeah. And it's like, why? Yeah. Well, I like those.
As it turns out, when you just slap a bit of a dragon onto a rifle, I mean, it kind of looks fine, but it also just looks like weird.
That's very true.
But the Rambo still has his M60 that looks like an M60, so at least there's that. Keep your Rambo weapon.
Yes, Rambo. Yeah, it literally just has like a cloth wrapped around it, so it's just like a bandana and like a knife. I think you just have like punch knives like wrapped around it. Yeah, it's like Rambo apparently just known for punch knives. Whatever.
Yeah, I think,
sure, man.
Because I was running around as Ghost Face when I was playing last night, so
sure.
And unfortunately, I can't have that skin in Vanguard. I wish I could.
So that's a thing that we should talk about. I guess we'll just go into this here. Is that if you're going to have unified battle pass, where like any of the games you can play unlock stuff, you need to have those things you unlock be available in any game. If I'm playing Cold War and I unlock these characters and these skins, they should be in Cold War. If you're going to support Cold War,
especially if they're skins that are their own characters and not a skin on a character.
Yes, correct. Yeah, if it's like it doesn't matter. Obviously, if it's like, oh well, Daniel has this skin that's whatever in Vanguard. It's like, well, if he can be in Warzone, he can be in Cold War because you've already got the model in two different places. places. Just figure out how to get it into a third. I think you'll be okay. Because it's really weird to be like, I want to play all the zombie stuff in Cold War because it's fun, but I also I like playing the zombie stuff that is in Vanguard. I just wish there was more because it just hasn't got far enough along in its cycle. It just haven't got along far enough in its cycle to get as much content quite yet. And I have hopes for the future because what they're saying that Treyarch seems to be very busy. It sounds like they're not making a new game; they're just making new zombie stuff for everything, which is like good. Just do that all the time. Just
absolutely. It's my favorite mode. Keep doing that.
Just be the zombie team, and don't ever do what you did at the beginning of Vanguard ever again because it didn't work out. You tried something new. I respect it. Go back to Outbreak, please.
You kind of get tired of the same portals over and over.
Yeah. It's true. Or, the thing that I said was make those big hub worlds into round-based maps. That's 2 free maps right there because they're huge. They have all the objectives that you need for a round-based map. They have all the drinks. They're all spread out. Like, it literally looks like they were planning to have round-based maps made out of those, and they were just like, but what if we do this instead? And then now that guy's fired. Unless he was the guy stealing breast milk, in which case he probably got a promotion because that just seems to be. Yeah,
now he's the vice president.
Yeah, it seems to be the way that goes. That game is super fun. It's still super good. The zombie stuff is great. I definitely want to play while there's double XP. That'll probably be where I spend my day after we get done doing this recording.
Sure.
But also, did you see that tier 1 skin of that new operator that just looks like the devil, like the Grim Reaper dude?
I did see that.
Looks awesome.
It looks cool. Apparently, you can also get some other skins for them that
you can get if you get the bundle, you can get 3 Beatrice skins, which I don't use Beatrice, so I didn't really care about that one. But the Grim Reaper dude looks cool.
I haven't really used her, so I don't know about that.
I personally don't use a lot of female characters unless I'm just leveling them up to level up a group. I just get more in the. I'm more used to playing male characters because that's the body I live in.
Sure, I get that. But, for me, it's like if they come out with a female character that's interesting to me, I'll play her. But a lot of times,
but I'm not gonna spend $20 extra on a character that I'm like, I don't really want to use that character. Like if you're not using that character, there's no point. If it was the Hawaiian dude or something, and he had some crazy Polynesian tiki heads or something, I'd be like, sick, give me. But he doesn't, and so it's Beatrice. It's Beatrice with different versions of that level 20 with the several groups mask. It's the Nazi tech stuff, and I was like, it looks cool, but she's not for me.
It's fine.
I don't need to be Beat Rice or whatever.
Good old Beat Rice.
Good old Beat Rice. Let's see. We've played a ton of Call of Duty. What else have we played? Sea of Thieves.
We played Sea of Thieves.
Played some No Man's Sky. Kind of weaning off that now as that update has come out and kind of died off.
I kind of go in waves. I'll go and play, but I don't.
Same.
Really
but it's not a very large game,
so
it's fine. Right, totally, and I get that. So I basically log in every now and then just get my mine's resources and check on my town, and then I log out. Because then, when I log in, and then I'm like, "Hey, Joe, you're new to this game. Here's a lot of these resources
Here's money.
I've been mining, so I have millions of credits." And he's like, "Thank you."
I want these things.
Correct.
I like money.
So I guess we're gonna get to. I can't think. Is there anything else? So it's Sea of Thieves, Call of Duty, No Man's Sky. I don't think it's been anything else. Other than recordings for work, I don't think.
Yeah, we've played some. We got to start on Norco, which was fun. That was an interesting game to kind of get into.
Days, yeah, because I think the last episode of Cooking Companions will come out the day this episode comes out, and then we'll start Norco the day after that. That game is crazy good. That game is super entertaining. Yeah, it's super entertaining. Yeah. The writing is very good. I think I gave a hell of a performance in one of those episodes. You'll just have to watch to figure out which episode it is. But let's just say the crawfish devil is alive.
Yeah, we're gonna slather everyone with the oyster flavored peanut butter.
Oyster flavored peanut butter and the crawfish devil. If you want to know what any of that means, go watch our Norco playthrough when it comes out. It's great.
Actually, something that might be taking my time tomorrow is going to be Bugsnax when it comes out, because I'll be probably playing that off camera as well.
Yeah, we will start recording that new expansion when that comes out for the channel as well, because we were literally trying to buy time until that came out so we could do that and then go back to it and be like, yay, hooray! And then I will probably play through that again just to get the achievements and be like, nah, on my own. Yeah.
I know how to do all these things.
Correct.
But yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest stuff we played is Call of Duty. We played, and of course, we can get into our excursion into our 7 hours of in a waiting room, basically.
We will get into our waiting room shenanigans, which is, again, the worst event Sea of Thieves has ever done, in my opinion. There's so many. There's a lot of. Here's the thing. There's two different groups. There's either the people that it went off without a hitch, who think it's the best thing ever, who like have a huge following, who somehow can be like, hey, I'm such and such, and people are like, oh my god, I love you, and then they like go fucking like help them and like bring a bunch of their like friends in, and they do the event, and they're like, did no problem, super great, oh so fun. And then our thing was,
that was not our experience.
Our thing was, we got the 4 things together, and then we sat there. We started sitting there at like 9 p.m. And we sat there until, what time did you finally get off?
3 a.m.
And the only way we got it done was we eventually literally did all of the things, abandoned what we did, logged out of the game, and all of us started logging in on individual servers. Going server hopping, logging into the game, looking for the thing, seeing if the beacon was there, and it wasn't. What we ended up seeing was the tornado that comes whenever you've started the event. So we didn't get to summon the stupid thing, so we still have to do that step. So we're going to have to like go sit there and wait and do that at some point. It was not fun.
There's also a couple megalodons we still have to kill,
right? But we gathered the stuff, we got the stuff ready, and then just like nobody showed up. No one shows up. It shoots a big beacon in the sky like, hey, everybody come do this. What made it worse
is we saw a brig when we first got there. We were a crew of 2 at the time, and then there was a crew of 3 who were there. We're like, cool,
yes,
I guess they're gonna go do something, we're gonna get this meg,
and then
we'll
come back, we can all just start the event. That was not the case.
And no, we sat there for about, I don't know, 2.5 hours, and then a couple more people we know kind of showed up, and that's when we were all trying to like
then we all literally just started, we all literally just started logging in as one person on a galleon looking for that, and then eventually one of us found the tornado, and everybody was like, okay, we'll just join and just go kill the thing, because then we're gonna have to screw somebody over. Okay, so the way, if you don't know how this works, this event, it requires 5 people. You have to go kill 4 sharks, bring their souls back, put them on this table, and then it shoots a beacon in the sky and tells the whole server, hey, this can be done. And then everybody's supposed to show up, and then everybody's supposed to play the instruments. You have to have 5 people to start it. You can only have 4 on a crew by yourself. So that means you have to have at least one other person if you're on a 4-man ship. We sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and eventually just gave up, and we're like, I guess we just have to get rid of our lobby where we've done all the work and just have to go see if we can find somebody else to do.
It wasn't just that no one was around.
We just never saw any ships. We didn't see a single ship. I think we ended up on a server. We were in Castaway. I think we ended up on a server with like no one else. And also, my biggest gripe with that event, other than the thing, is that the music while you're sitting there waiting for another ship to show up it's the music that plays when a shark is underwater. It literally plays a 2-note stinger, and then it plays a 2-note stinger going down. It's like, it goes like,
and you can't listen. You can't listen to anything else. You can't drown it out with instruments. You just listen to this for hours, unless you mute the music, which is what we had to do, or we would literally. I was like, it was just it was boring into my brain like it was a drill bit. It was an absolute nightmare. Like, it's just like everything about it was just like, man, I could only imagine sitting here and slowly going insane to these 2 notes, which, by the way, at this point, if we ever fight a Meg and it goes underwater, I'm diving in to like get it to come back up, because I can never hear that stinger again. Like, it's not a thing I can ever deal with. Like, this right now, what he's doing is a preview, and it's just a small slice of the madness that we were dealing with at the time.
It literally is like that, and it just plays the stinger of like, oh, there's a shark in the water, what's gonna happen? Ooh, ah. It's supposed to be like build anticipation, but when you're sitting there from literally 9 o'clock at night till like 2 in the morning for this fucking shark to show up, and you're like, okay, well, everybody's playing, and people are gonna be like, you shouldn't have been expected to do the event at that time of night. Well, if we're playing at that time of night. There's got to be other people playing at that time of night, because there's a lot of people who work and they come home and they play games. Also, there are literally over 20 million players of Sea of Thieves, and you're telling me that no one else in the entire world is looking for that event to be done at the same time, like so everyone just plays during the day? Every night? We don't live in that world anymore where it's like, it's only 9 to 5 universe. We don't live in that world, so fuck off with that noise. Yeah. But
but also, it's that like, adventure generally, if you don't have anyone else on your server, it like does the thing where it shows the message and you get server merged.
Yeah,
I'm still convinced that for 4 hours we were on a server by ourselves.
Yeah, I am
like
too,
we could have done all the Athena's voyages apparently, because we didn't have to worry about other people.
Yeah, it just refused to merge us with any other crews, which when it does merge you, apparently it can merge you away from all the work you've done, and then you have to go collect the sharks again, which is another unfortunate thing, which is terrible. That's a terrible design. If I do all the work to gather the 4 sharks, and then you merge me onto a server to show me other people, and then it does that, that's not good design. That's bad. So something needs to be done about Sea of Thieves matchmaking. They need to just go ahead and do PvE servers and tell the people who are just the 3 people who are going to cry about it to fuck off and go outside. And they need to tell the people who are like, oh, well, they're going to exploit and do the thing. People have already found out how to exploit stuff. If people want to be in the same lobby with their friends, they have found ways to like show up to somebody and be like, hey, are you logging off the game soon? And they're like, I don't know, maybe. And they're like, well, if you do, can my friend join your crew and take that boat so we can have 2 boats on the same server? And it's like, that's such a pain in the dick, but like, I understand
but it's a thing you can do.
Yeah, you can do that. So like, that's a thing, but it's a big pain in the dick, and it's very like hard to actually do. So if they're going to require things that require 2 crews and no one is going to show up, they need to have a way for you to bring a second ship into a server. Yeah. I'm not saying a full-blown, like, if you're not going to do a full-blown private server, which they're definitely building towards it with the thing with the Pirates of the Caribbean where you're off in your own little place away from everybody. They've already done that. So if they're going to do that, they should just go full hog and just let me drive into that portal and just appear. Or at least have a thing where people can
queue up to do this event. Like if you're going to have this type of event, give us a lobby system of some kind where like we can go, hey, we're doing this and they're doing this, and you put us together. Then it will just
drop everybody, because if they, and this is why I know they can do that, is because they have log into adventure mode. If you log into adventure mode, you wake up in the tavern with whatever note Lorena has left you. You do the wake up animation. If you log in for Pirate's Life, which is what I do, it skips that animation and it drops you in a different spawn location in front of the castaway person. So all they have to do is then make another thing that is like an event blade where you click on that and it's like shrouded deep and you're like, cool. And then you click on that and it's like, oh, sick. What does this do? Well, this is where you do the shark thing. And then you'll meet like-minded people who are all trying to do the event. And then you can all work together.
Instead of waiting there
because
for
sitting
nothing
there
to happen
for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours is not the fucking way to do anything. That is not a way to make anyone. I love that game. I've been playing that game since the alpha. I've played so many hours. I have my ghost clothes. I have the Brave Vanguard title. I have the sales. I have all this stuff. I go test insider stuff. I do all these things. And this event made me want to go scream at somebody. It's not good. The battle, your once you get to the battle
should not be hope. That's not a matchmaking system.
The battle, once you get to the battle, is really awesome. It's literally fighting
15 minutes for 2 hours for 6 hours of waiting.
It is you sitting there fighting this shark that is also trying to kill the ghost ships that are also trying to kill you. So it's a 3-way fight. You're trying to shoot the shark to get the thing you need from the shark. They're trying to kill the shark. They're also trying to kill you so they can get the shark, and the shark is trying to kill all of you. So it's a crazy big chaotic fight. Like you'll literally see like the shrouded ghost will literally just be like, you, and then it'll sail over, it'll like swim over and like really, really fast to a ghost ship, hit it, and it's like boom, ghost ship gone, and you're like sick, love that. And then it might do it to your boat, like you never know. And so that's super awesome. It is very cool. It is not. No one should ever have to wait that long in a lobby to ever do anything ever again. That is not fun. The Sea of Thieves crew.
It's not just the waiting. It's the waiting with the God, I'm trying to think of the word. It's waiting, but also you don't know if it's ever actually going to happen. It has the potential to never happen. You can wait for 8 hours and it's still, you don't see anybody.
The Sea of Thieves design logic is so confusing to me. The name of the game is Sea of Thieves. they have built factions around people fucking people over, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Then they've done the Pirate's Life thing where you can go hide away in your own little world. And so sometimes when I'm leveling renown, I'll just go do one of those Pirate Life things because I don't want to be messed with. I just want to listen to a podcast and just run through things that I know that are familiar to me, get some XP, do some piratey stuff, and I'm having fun. I don't have to worry about another person as long as I'm in there. If we've already gotten to this point, just do that for adventure mode. There is nothing in adventure mode that you're going to be missing out on you're just basically just appeasing the assholes, because there's the people who are going to say, it's Sea of Thieves, not Sea of Friends, and you're like, okay, well clearly you don't have any.
Yeah.
So who cares what you say
But also
anyway?
look at everything the actual game is telling you.
Yes, the entire game.
Every person in the game.
Literally every NPC in the game is like, adventurers, it's not about the gold, it's about the glory. Or then you have Arthur who's like, that's not what a captain would say. A
It's
captain
about being
would
free.
it's about being free and saving this wonderful place from all these forces of evil and doing this and that and whatever. And then he's like, you're right. I need my compass back. Yeah, like, okay, cool, great. So, like, everybody's giving these speeches about how it's not about fucking people over. It's
about how
saving
cooperation
it
is
and
important.
having fun and doing cooperation and all these things. And it's so good. It's so great. And at the same time, the Reapers exist. And it's like, okay, well, if it's all about
but the
jolly
Reapers have
cooperation
obviously
and
been the
praising the
villains
sun,
forever.
then maybe I should have a lobby where I can just go do that.
Yeah.
Or, again, if you're not going to do that quite yet, you're clearly building towards it, because here's the thing. I watch the Sea of Thieves podcast every time it comes out. And anytime they talk about server stuff, you can tell that Joe Neat and Mike Chapman, they are literally they'll sit there for 5 minutes and like just be staring like dead. And it's clear that they're like, there's so much going on in the background that they know about and they're working on, they can't talk about. And so they're literally having to like put all the file folders away, and like, you can tell they're like, what can I not say? Okay, so like they'll just sit there quietly, and then they'll like have like their composed thought, and then they'll say something. And they're like, you know, it's about the stories, it's about this and that and whatever, and the emergence, whatever, and it's great and wonderful. And you're like, yeah, that's all great and good. But what if your emergent story is, I showed up and got fucked to death? And then I went to another server and I got fucked to death. And then I went to go do your event and I sat there for 9 hours. That's not an emergent story. I don't ever want to fucking play your game again.
Yeah. Also one good thing I love about the Shrouded Deep.
Shrouded Deep is the event, yes.
Like it's a very cool event, but I also like that there's no loot at the end of it, so I don't have to worry about 8 ships coming to fuck me in the ass.
The only loot in the whole thing is you go out to each shark's location, and when you kill that shark drops loot. And that's where it is. So it's all very far away from that point. So you don't have to worry about somebody screwing you over. And also, the only thing that makes this entire event feasible is that you can just walk up to the person that starts the adventure and go, I would like to continue the adventure, please. You're not continuing it from where you started. It's just such a disjointed nightmare of matchmaking that the game just goes, cool, all right, you're here, let's go. But then it's like, I hope you got 5
multiple
people
crews
and
can
all the
technically hunt
sharks.
the same shark.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so
Like
so that's another thing, is that it doesn't tell you.
Both of you could be going after the same thing.
It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you if someone else is already doing it, and it doesn't tell you if that shark is already on the table by graying out those options. It literally is just like, I want to go hunt the Crested Queen, which that's fine if I need to go hunt the Crested Queen. But if I hunt the Crested Queen on the server and it's already on the table, I can't put it down to get reference for my effigy anyway. So then I have no point of even being on the server. That game is so good, but they are so back and forth on the design stuff that just doesn't make any sense to me, and it makes me want to scream.
My evidence to what people that the majority want PvE stuff is, we've talked about it before, Arena. They put out Arena for, hey, you guys want PvP, you guys want to shoot other pirates, here's an entire mode to do that.
It was less than
everyone
2%.
Went, nope.
Less than 2%. And the reason for that is because there was the less than 2% who actually wanted Arena mode. Then there are the people who want PvE who want nothing to do with that mode. And then there are the people who want PvP, but they don't want PvP. They want to shoot an empty boat and let loot come out of it. They don't actually want to fight.
They want
'cause a lot of
pinatas.
times,
They don't want to fight.
correct. Yes, they want crates they can smash and get fruit. Yeah, totally. They want the money to just pour out of the piggy bank when they hit it with a cannon. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. That is absolutely what it is.
They want people who want nothing to do with fighting them just to then ruin their day. Like they want to have the fight. They want the fight to happen to you. They don't want you involved.
Yes. I love that game so much. I love Sea of Thieves more than most games, if not more than every game. I
think Sea of Thieves may be my biggest turnaround on a game.
Yes, I genuinely love that game. I hated
that game when it came out.
I genuinely adore that game. The new Spanish forts and stuff are super awesome. They're very quick, concise things that give you a good payday, and they give you rep, and you get to do a couple fights. You have cannons on it to defend yourself if you need to from someone else. This whole thing is there. It's very fun. I haven't done the new Athena's voyage yet, but it looks pretty neat. It's like story-centric voyage.
Can't wait for the tornado to spawn and then someone
seems pretty fun.
Fuck me.
But then at the same time, they're like, oh, it's about the stories, it's about this and that and whatever. And you're like, okay, that's wonderful. I love that. Thank you so much. However, you are now going, it's a PvE thing with a story element. And the reason they did the Pirate's Life stuff in a different world was because they were like, we don't want people to mess with you while you're doing story stuff.
We want you to be able to see the story.
But now they're doing a new thing, and they're like, oh, we're doing a story thing, but fuck you, I guess. And so now you can just get screwed over because it summons a gigantic... Yeah, but there's no checkpoints on this. It's not like Tall Tales, where Tall Tales are out in the world, and you can literally drop the Tall Tale, pick up the mission again from your voyage, you just sit down your checkpoint, and it puts your item back in case someone steals your item. You can just get it back. It's easy. But with this new voyage, they're like, it's got story stuff that picks up right where the Shrouded Deep left off. So I don't know how people were able to do the Shrouded Deep fast enough to even pick up where the story left off. I assume they just did it because they got bored of waiting for the Shrouded Deep to be able to kick off.
Probably.
And then they're like, oh, you're doing this stuff. And then it literally does a giant tornado on that island. And you're just like, oh, that's where okay, well, we know they're doing that thing now. So let's go beat them up, guys. Let's go. Woo, woo, woo.
We know where the pinata dropped. Let's go.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
because I finally got you to start at least doing a little bit of Athena's voyages, because there was like a year period of like, come on, please, can we please do Athena's voyage? I want to do an Athena's voyage. Can we do it?
And we were all like, no, they're not fun. They're not fun. And then now you've done them, they're not fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
No. I mean, okay, fine, at most. It's literally just, we're going to give you literally one map of every variety in the game, and you're going to basically throw all that shit on the ground because it's worthless, and we're going to give you one chest at the end you actually care about, and everyone on the server is going to try to kill you. And that's an Athena's voyage. Does that sound worth it? Sure does not.
The Pirate Legend voyage is just kind of an extension of that. Where
I'm hoping that this thing actually pays a lot better and also is a lot more fun to do, because if we end up in a situation where we just end up on a server by ourselves, maybe we'll do one. Yeah,
because apparently what we need to do is go, hey, we're doing the Shrouded Deep today.
Yeah, we're doing the Shrouded Deep.
Just want you to know I'm doing Shrouded Deep.
Yeah, and then the game is just like, well, people are just going to vanish, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we go off and do the Athena's thing. We're like, yes, this is what we wanted.
The unfortunate thing to that is that summoning the creature is the hardest part of the whole thing. And summoning the creature is a requirement for completing.
You just gotta play a goddamn song.
It is required for you to do the mission, and it's unfortunate that you can't do it without just having 4 people, because they wanted to make a reference back to the Hungering One adventure thing from way back when the game first started. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can literally just make the event scale on the amount of ships that are there.
I could do literally the entire event by myself, except for the one part to play a goddamn
So you
song.
could literally go log in by yourself, do the whole thing, and if no one shows up, then it doesn't matter. And then if you do the whole thing and no one shows up, and you get back on your boat and it server merges you and takes all of your credit away, you were literally back at square one and nothing mattered.
Probably like pissing in the wind.
And that's why that event is really bad, and they should really do something about that. It's a cock-up cascade of poor design trying to force cooperation in a game where there's not a mode where you can force cooperation.
Yeah.
They're like, no, there's no loot to be had. So the people who have done, so all the streamers and stuff have done it, and they don't care anymore because they've done it because their little fandoms and their little private discords were all like, we're gonna go do it. Okay, Daddy wants to do it. Socio, the parasocial relationship, and they're doing their whole thing, and they're like, Daddy wants screen time. Daddy wants screen time, and then they go do the event with them, and then they get it, and they're like, oh, it's so awesome. Sit there, best event ever. Let's do another one, bruh. And you're like, I've been sitting here for 9 hours. Nothing about this is fun. You're a fucking liar.
Like, well, yeah, it's fun when you can just do it immediately. I mean,
sure, that's what I'm
saying. If we had been able to, to get there, have another crew be there, play the song, start the event, I'd be singing an entirely different tune.
Correct.
It would have been like, this is like one of the best things Sea of Thieves have ever done.
However, that is not what we got.
No.
That is not what we got. What we got was, man, I love this game. Man, this event looks cool. Man, I've been sitting here for 9 hours. Man, this is not fun. Man, this was misplayed.
Not only
completely.
There is one more bit that I've completely forgot to talk about. For whatever reason, the middle of the sea where they put the event is apparently hurricane season. And you spend half your time repairing holes in your boat put there by storms.
It's true. So while we're sitting
there,
bring
a board crate, even if you're doing nothing, apparently.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you literally are just going to sit there, and you need board crates because there are no boards to be had on the killer whale. So we literally had to fire our crew over to a nearby sunken ship to collect boards 5 at a time, and then blow ourselves up or drown and come back. It was, and that I guess it's an emergent story. It's wonderful. That's it.
Well, here's our emergent story. How does it feel? Does it feel good? No, this emergent story sucks. A tale of
desperation. A crew shooting themselves out of cannons and collect the boards. It's about the stories and the glory. You're like, there's no glory to be had in collecting boards.
Tell you right now, a lot of my quote-unquote emergent stories have not taken place in adventure mode. They were in there have been a few events and stuff for that, but most of it's been Tall Tales or Pirate's Life. Like, that's some of the coolest stuff I've done in that game. It has not been, hey, I'm just going to sail and grab
your
crate.
Your emergent story is, I was digging up an X marks the spot map, and then some ocean crawlers burst out of the ground, and then I fought them, and then a crew drove up and shot my boat while I was in the middle of a fight and sank it. Ooh, I'm gonna tell everybody it was so awesome. It was emergent. It's like,
I'm going on Reddit right now.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's like, Mike, I love you. I love the tools not rules design of that. And I know that I jokingly say the stories because that's the way Mike says it, but at the same time, this event was a big flop in my opinion because of my experience. It has the potential to be the coolest thing ever, and I hope to God they never do another one. Because
it's one of those things where
it was not good.
I want that title, but the part I need to get that title is to kill 2 more Megs,
which is easy. We can handle that no problem. We can handle that no problem.
Ritual.
But then
we have to play the stupid song. Yes. And at this point, if I don't get on a server and someone's there ready with their instruments, I'm like, well, this is a bust. Going somewhere else.
I'm literally to the point where I want to literally just log on to Sea of Thieves with a sloop with you, and I log on one, you log on one, and we look and see if that green spiral is there and not the tornado, and then if we find one where it is, then the other one jumps in and we both start hauling that way, and then we sit there and make sure that it's good to go, and then we do the ritual. And then we literally log out and let them fight because that's the way they designed the mission. Because I'm not staying there and fighting that whole fight again. I just need to do the summoning.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
I just want, at this point,
and then after I do the summoning, I'll then go kill the last 2 sharks I need because that's the easiest part.
Yeah, and that's a part that I don't mind getting erased if I need to. If I have it, if I've already done the summoning,
get the one thing and take it, and get the one thing and take it. It's fine. Yeah, I just need to do the summon. The summoning being the hardest part is sitting there just playing a song. I cannot believe
the toughest part of this fucking thing is playing instruments.
Because it is mind-boggling
to me.
There are 2 people there. Those 2 people can play. They can play instruments. They can whistle. They can sing songs because you get the shanty from Merrick, and that's who, originally in the original event, you had to get it from him and carry it across the ocean to the place where you summoned the thing. And then you had to have 5 people come join you, and one person had to keep playing. And if someone decided to be a dick and kill that guy, you would have to then go back to America and start over again. It wasn't fun then. It's not fun now. It's not good design. It's just not good design.
I was willing to try and teach my monkey how to play a hurdy-gurdy if I could, to just have a fourth person to play an instrument.
Yes,
I don't care.
It is an incredible event when it works, and I'm sure the people who literally rolled up and saw it
it's
and
literally
were like,
just you need one person past a galleon.
Correct.
It's an even bigger insult. You don't really need two crews. You just need one other guy.
You just need a dude who is like, you just need the guy who's tucking on your boat to steal your Athena's chest to pull out a fucking hurdy-gurdy. So, I digress on that. We're probably going to cut that whole section out as its own video, and so I'm going to send it to Rare and be like, here you go, please watch this and understand the frustrations of the people who are not the major streamers yet. We make content, but we're not like sitting there going, see, let's go tuck and blow people up, bro. Let's do this new event. And they're like,
I don't think we'll ever be that.
I mean, I'm not going to be like tucking and blowing people up. I'm, like to make our community larger and actually be successful at what I do because I work hard on this.
No, what I'm talking about, we're not going to be like,
I'm not going to be like a Tucker. I'm not going to be that guy. Sorry. But anyway,
I like that our version of asshole streamers are basically radio DJs.
Okay, go watch their streams whenever you're getting your Twitch drops for Sea of Thieves and tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. No, it's fine. I'll wait. No, it's fine. Oh, really? Oh, you're waiting? Okay, no, it's fine.
No, I was waiting for 7 hours already. I don't want to do any more waiting. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good.
No, thanks.
I'm all right.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I could totally do without that. I'm super good on the waiting bit for Sea of Thieves. I don't think I'll ever be willing to wait on anything for Sea of Thieves ever again.
No,
like if you do another event, I'm never be able to do it immediately.
Yeah,
you make me wait, I'm out.
That's not fun. That's not fun. It's terrible. It's not great. Bad idea. Big, bad, not fun. The fact that I'm so frustrated with this event that I'm willing to cut that discussion out as its own thing so I can send it straight to the developers.
Emergent stories.
Should
this is my emergent story about your event.
Tell you everything you need to know. Like, it's about the emergent stories and all the things that our players are going to come across. And you're like, oh, that's wonderful. You know what I came across? Nothing. Absolutely
literally nothing.
But whenever I want to come across nothing, I come across 7 Reaper ships.
I think that's for the first time we were like, man, if I would take a Reaper ship coming to blow my ship up just to see another person.
Yeah.
We were like the magician in Inscription. Stimulation!
Yes, literally.
Please shoot me in the face, I beg of you. It's something different.
Well, I guess that's our discussion for the week. Sorted.
That's what we've been playing. We played the waiting game and everyone lost.
It's true. Let's get into the news.
Okay.
In other news, this is Miyamoto.
We don't have to wait for it.
This is Miyamoto.
Oh, good.
Hold on, let me get my... This is Miyamoto. After consulting with Chris-san, my partner at Illumination, on the Super Mario Bros. Film, we've decided to move the global release to spring 2023, April 28th in Japan and April 7th in North America. My deepest apologies, but I promise it will be well worth the wait. What I am taking from that is that Nintendo saw Sonic blowing booty cheeks out and was like, this isn't good enough. We've got to fix this. We can't let Sonic beat us in the box office.
Maybe Mario looked like a nightmare.
Yeah,
they had to change
it's possible. They were like, what if we release a trailer and it's like literally just like, it's like deep faked Chris Pratt face on Mario and he's like, it's me, Mario. You're like, ugh.
You're like, oh no. Please don't.
Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Which is crazy because that would
be a cursed image to be sure.
Apparently, I've already seen it. People have already started. They're putting Mario's bulbous nose on Chris Pratt's face. In
really?
It's a hellish nightmare. But apparently, there's also a mod for Super Mario 64 that like it's Chris Pratt voice for all of Mario's stuff. It should be Mario. That's not the voice. That's just what you're like. Okay, yeah.
That's your
okay, Mister. I played Mario Brothers in the arcade. I don't trust you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the game is that the only Mario game he's played?
That's what I'm saying.
That is only frame of reference.
But also, I know several people who are like, "What game was he talking about?" I don't know that Super Mario Brothers 1 was in an arcade that I remember. I think it was like maybe like Lost Levels, but that's 2, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe the one where you're like, maybe the one with the POW blocks, where like the actual like Mario Brothers, where you like run through the sewer back and forth and like hit underneath things. Maybe that was there, but that's
or
not
Donkey
the same
Kong,
thing either.
where Mario came from,
or Donkey Kong, which is again not a Mario game, but yes.
I mean, it kind of was.
So that is the news that has come out about the Mario movie.
Weirdly enough, in Donkey Kong, you didn't play as Donkey Kong. You played as Mario.
People are already seeing posters saying that it was going to be like December 22nd. It was already in theaters.
Yeah.
People were already seeing posters and stuff for it, and then that came out, and they're like, no, that's not happening. I guess I can mark shrouded deep event flaws off of the news because we've discussed that.
Then maybe they had to work on Chris Pratt's Italian accent. That's what they're spending this time working on.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because it makes me wonder if he's actually going to be trying a Mario voice or if it's just going to be Chris Pratt's voice coming out of Mario's face.
So the thing that I'm worried about is that like Sonic takes itself super serious and is like actual Sonic, and a lot of rumor is that and speculation is that the Mario movie is going, which is great because the Sonic movies are great. I'm hearing a lot of rumor that like the Mario movie is going to be like a Wreck-It Ralph situation. Where it's like he's okay, but it's like a thing where he's like on screen and he's like, "It's a me, Mario," and then it like, okay, they turned off the Nintendo and he's like, "I'm Chris Pratt now. How's it going? Good to see you." And it's like, I do not want that at all. That sounds terrible. Nothing about that sounds good. Or people are saying it could be a Jumanji situation where someone like Chris Pratt is like playing his kid's cursed Nintendo and then he gets sucked into Mario's body, and it's like that also sounds terrible. I hate that idea too.
I would prefer the Wreck-It Ralph version over the Jumanji version if I had to pick.
I did like that first Jumanji video game thing. I didn't see the sequel. Did it ever come out? Maybe it did. Yes. I didn't see it, but
Next Level came out in 2019, I think.
I didn't watch it, but that first one was pretty good. So I mean, if
it's
more
like
of
the first one, you would like the second one.
Sure.
Yeah, it's more of what they gave you the first time.
Kind of what I was thinking. I just thought it was.
You also get Danny Glover and Danny DeVito,
Oh, that's fun. That sounds.
Oh yeah,
that sounds good. I just love Kevin Hart getting eaten by a hippo and being like, "A rhinoceros ate me!" like he literally just busts out of the water, eat like that. Just I laughed so hard at just like tiny giant backpack Kevin Hart just getting obliterated by a hippo and then being like, "A rhinoceros ate me."
Yeah, and instead of The Rock is playing Danny DeVito playing The Rock. And Kevin Hart is playing Danny Glover playing Kevin Hart.
Oh, weird.
And they're the two best parts of the movie.
Weird. So it's different players have swapped in for those characters.
Yeah, they a lot of they go back in, but not everyone's who they were last time.
Gotcha.
Sort of deal.
I gotcha.
but it's pretty good because I mean it's literally a clip in the trailer you can go watch. But like when
The Rock
Danny DeVito does like the smolder thing, and then Kevin Hart's like, "What's happening? Are you having a stroke? Put your head between your knees. We gotta help him."
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, in movie news, Sonic will be coming to Paramount Plus on May 24th. So not too much longer, I'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, I think it might be. I wonder if it's coming out on digital before then, like to rent or buy or whatever.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it is, I'll just rent it or buy it somewhere before then. It's fine. But if not, then I'll sign up for Paramount Plus for a month, watch that movie, and then be done with it.
Because I actually went and saw it in theaters, and I would love to talk with you about it when.
Yeah, I would love to talk about it.
Spoiling everything.
Yeah, correct. And I appreciate you not spoiling it because I had things spoiled already, and I was just like, I kind of figured, but.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you did have spoiled with for you is something you probably kind of assumed would happen eventually.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
like, well, okay, all right, I'm not going to talk about it, but
it was a natural progression, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Speaking of streaming services and things, Netflix is talking about having at least 50 mobile games on phones through their service by the end of 2022.
That's a lot.
They're just trying. I think they're probably just trying
to. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of shovelware.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like they're either that or it's a bunch of established games they're giving you access to, like Apple Arcade.
Maybe.
They're just like, hey, you sign up for this and you get this. Which makes me wonder, like, how is Apple going to handle that? Because when Fortnite tried to do it, they were like, no. So if they try to do it, they're like, you got to give us our cut. And right now, Netflix is so in the toilet that they don't have a cut to give them.
I mean, it's entirely possible that they say it's only available for these platforms and not these.
Or it's streaming only, but then that was the whole problem with Game Pass, was that it was just being streamed, so then they weren't getting a cut of these streamed games, and they were getting mad about it, and that's why Game Pass, I don't even know if Game Pass is still on Apple
I'd
phones.
have to check.
I think
But I
it's
don't
only
remember
on
if the
Android,
Xbox.
but yeah, I don't remember, but I'm not
Which,
sure if
by the
they've
way,
sorted that out or
it's still
not, but
awesome to be able to do.
it is super cool that you can do that.
Because I've done it, and it's not terrible.
Going back to Nintendo, Nintendo fired a worker that mentioned a contracted worker that mentioned unions. And Nintendo said they released them because they were sharing company secrets.
Was the secret that they aren't unionized?
No, but the thing was that they said they released them for sharing secrets, but the thing was because this person in particular mentioned unions, they got rid of them. So there's a lot of speculation about that, because other people who have shared secrets in the past have said, we shared secrets in the past, and they gave us a slap on the wrist and a warning and said, don't do that again. But this person mentioned unions, and so now it's starting to look like the real, like, we got to get these contracted workers out of here. We're Nintendo. We want to get all the money.
Absolutely.
So
health insurance, who needs that?
Yeah,
you're correct. A contractor. You don't get health insurance.
Yeah, that's right.
Get out of my face.
We love that. We love it. We love it. So
go work another 60-hour week.
So good. Speaking of contracted workers and all those things and unions and whatnot, Ravensoft has won the right to have a union vote, thanks to the National Labor Relations Board ruling. They said, hey, we want to have a vote on it. To which Activision said, you can't do that unless every single person says they want to do that. To which the court said, that's not how unions work. What are you talking about? So they were like, there's over 200 people who work there, and only 21 of them are involved in this. So that's not enough of the body to represent a union. Right. What are you doing? And they're like, yes, it is. Fucking shut up. So,
I appreciate that a lot of these companies are being able to do this. Like, we can go back and forth all day long on, whether or not unions are actually good for people. And
the red scare of unions. Yeah, I know.
But I think that it's important for people to have the option if they want to do that sort of thing. And the fact that so many companies, because I'm sure you've watched these videos, I know I've seen these videos, like in the like when you have to go for like training and stuff, they have this weird like anti-union propaganda videos like, you have to watch, and then you have to sign a piece of paper saying I will never try to unionize. It's like, what the fuck is this? You're like, it's like you are waiving your rights to do these things to be able to have a job.
It's true. And that's because they know that you need the money.
Yeah. They have you over a bin, basically. And it's like, it's not okay. It's never been okay. But unfortunately, again, you need money to live, so you have to accept certain things, even though you kind of don't want to. But it is what it is. I mean, you can still, I guess, try and fight for that sort of thing. But they're like, no, you signed a contract, and you're in a right to work state, so I can fire you for any reason.
Correct. Yeah.
It's
a scary thing.
We live in Alabama, so we can
literally
just be fired for no reason.
Yeah, correct.
Bye. Yeah.
Almost makes you wonder why I started my own business of news and content creation instead of doing the corporation thing.
Yeah, you just want to be able to fire me for no reason. Get out of here. We're going to fire you every week for no reason.
You're going to complain about the Shrouded Deep event? I'll show you.
Did you say that you invested in crypto? Get out of my face. Get out of my company.
Okay, I don't need you. Okay, I'm actually taking note of this. If you actually said that, hold on, I've got to write this down.
Yeah, I definitely think if I
contagious.
I definitely think if I like showed up and like showed you my Board 8 portfolio.
Look at my Board 8. Speaking of which, apparently that Discord promoted a link, and that link was some shady stuff, and so a lot of people had like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of apes stolen.
Awesome. Great.
So, turns out that whole thing just blows.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like some people, it's like you have these other people who are like, yeah, I've gone from living paycheck to paycheck to now having money saved up that I'll never have to work again because I've been flipping NFTs, and then you have this shit.
Correct. Yeah, it's like, it's great for those 3 people that worked out for. Everyone else, not so much.
Yeah, it's great when you're on the you're on the upside, but not for most of the other people who try to do that sort of thing.
So speaking about, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, it was just like it's no, I lost the thought. It's gone now.
Speaking about the blockchain and all those other weird things that no one likes, Atari has terminated their partnership with the ICICB. So the Atari token is no more, and they will be doing a new proprietary Atari token. And if you have those tokens already, you can come to the token swap snapshot and have yours traded over in exchange for the new proprietary token at the snapshot at the value they're currently weighed in at the snapshot. Also, the hotel casinos, and resorts will also be not happening.
Oh, they just scrapped all that now?
They have scrapped all of that for a secondary new token that they want to be responsible for and not have a partner that is over it getting all the actual money. So they're swapping it over for a new proprietary token. They already have a token. They're taking that crypto and basically reminting the entire thing, getting rid of that one, devaluing it to garbage, and then making another one that you can then swap your old one for.
But why is it affecting the hotel casinos?
Because it's the same partnership, so they're also getting out of that too.
So are they going to do hotel casinos anymore, like with themselves?
I just saw that apparently it was going to be the company that's like from Dubai or whatever was going to actually do this stuff, and they were basically a partnership with them. And I guess getting out of that partnership has basically dissolved that whole thing. That's
a little sad because that'd have been dope to go to an Atari themed hotel and casino.
Sure, but like, what does that mean? You like go to a room, it's like you're in the asteroid suite, my lord. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Ubisoft.
But some of that stuff is cool set dressing for those kind of things. But
Ubisoft is in the news because Ubisoft might be looking to sell. There's a lot of rumbling about private equity being interested in Ubisoft because they're kind of floundering right now and nothing's coming out. And the past couple things they've released that have not been Assassin's Creed have been bad or mediocre, not bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought Far Cry sold okay.
Far Cry was fun. It wasn't like the greatest thing, but it was fun. We didn't finish it, but it was very fun. No. Watch Dogs would be really fun in co-op, but it's really kind of meh by yourself.
I actually didn't get off the first island in Far Cry 6. I didn't finish the first stage.
So you got off.
I'm sorry, not that.
You got off the tutorial.
I got off the tutorial island.
You didn't
like
finish
that first
the
zone that you have to liberate or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I finished the first one, and then I did that one, and then I started doing the second and third one at the same time. So I was like going back and forth because you can just do them all in whatever order. But there's like one group that's like these really old like veterans that are like really interesting, and then there's one group that's like a band that just keep trying to fuck each other in every cutscene, and I just hated all of them.
Yeah, those were the social media, like the influencer people.
Yeah, they were the most. I hated them. I actually wanted to go just join the bad guy and be like, look, they're over here. I can't stand these motherfuckers.
You wanted the option to like sell them out, like
correct?
Right
yes,
there.
Absolutely.
I can tell you where the hideout is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, if you hear like a faint thing in the background, that's my neighbor is blasting their radio. So I apologize.
Yeah.
If you hear that, I have nothing I can do about it. Sorry. Apparently they also
speakers.
Ubisoft also, I mean, I've got a noise gate, but when I talk, it's going to come through. So if it happens, I apologize. Every fool every step you take. That's really what's playing right now. So anyway,
yeah, I'm not hearing that. I'm just getting like in the background. It's just going on like a blah 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 blah.
Okay, well that's fine. If that's all you're getting, you're not getting enough of it to get me copyrighted. Then fine, great, love it.
We get DMCA because that's in the background.
Because someone else is playing it in a fucking across a field. Yeah, it's wonderful.
That would be ridiculous, but also fucking hilarious.
So. Rainbow Six has, Ubisoft. So that has frazzled me. It is very loud. It is like blasting.
If I can pick up at least that, I know that it's just like rattling your walls.
Yeah, because I have a noise gate on this, so you guys don't hear most of it. But apparently, Ubisoft has shut down 90 older games' online functionality.
90 older games?
90. This includes Rainbow Six Vegas 1, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and like 30 Just Dance games and a bunch of other stuff.
I did not know they still had onlines that worked.
Yeah, so those are that way.
Oh man, we could have been playing Chaos Theory co-op this whole time and we didn't.
Apparently,
that is
no idea.
Unfortunate.
Also, here's the kicker. Not only does that suck, But
wait, does Convictions Online still work? Because I'd still go play that co-op.
I don't know. But Ubisoft, they're like connected like launcher thing. If you're doing stuff on the PC, everything you've unlocked from your coins and points and stuff is on those games. On PC, doesn't matter if it's on your save file, it's gone now. That's all of your connected stuff, all the stuff you got from their Ubisoft Direct Connect or whatever crap that stuff's called. It's all gone on PC. You can't have it anymore. It doesn't matter if it's in your save file because the way that's delivered, it's just gone. If you're on console and you're on and you've earned those things, then you keep those in your save file on consoles. But if you start a new game, you'll never be able to get those items again.
Wow.
So you can never start the game over, basically.
That's fucked up.
That is insane to me that is the way that works.
I think the only online I care about is Driver San Francisco, but I think that went offline a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a great game.
That is a game, boy, that is a game that I will scream to the rooftops to let me have backwards compatibility
Jimbo,
with.
me lad, where be the hidden? Sorry, I talk like a pirate. I'm just scared. Yeah. Diablo Immortal is supposed to be coming
Emergent
out.
Story.
Diablo Immortal is supposed to be coming out June 2nd.
Yeah.
And it'll be coming out. Right? It will be coming out to PC as well because Blizzard realized that most people who play this game are going to be playing it on BlueStacks on PC emulators or Android emulators for PC. So they just said we should probably just release it for PC because otherwise those people are going to be playing it on that and bitching because it doesn't play well on an emulator.
Yeah.
So we're just going to make it on PC as well. So they just cut out the middleman, which, you know what? That's a smart idea because I might actually
still
check
remember
it out now.
Like the firestorm that happened when that game, that game was announced.
And here's the thing about this whole thing was, and it could be another reason why they made the PC version was he was like, do you guys not have phones? And it's like, well, at the time I didn't. So also fuck you, buddy. But
also that is not where I would like to play Diablo. Thanks.
Yeah, no. If it's like a supplementary thing like Genshin Impact, then maybe, but like no way. But I feel like it was probably partly due to the emulator thing, but also probably due to people who don't have phones. And they're like, well, they might have a computer, though, family computer. They can play that on and whatever. So, like, that whole thing was like, oh, it's going to be on phones? That sucks. Maybe it gives it a little more credibility if it's also on PC.
Yeah. Well, it's just the fact that people are like, so you're finally giving us another Diablo game, but it's a fucking mobile game.
That also kind of tells me that Diablo 4 is way further out than everybody thought.
100%, yeah. I definitely feel like 2024 maybe Diablo 4's year at this point.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
Unless it's like super surprising and they release it at the end of 2022 somehow.
The Overwatch,
I doubt it, but you know.
The Overwatch 2 beta is coming out today. It'll be yesterday if you're listening to this in this recording. So it's technically today on Wednesday, but it'll be Thursday when you hear this. So that's coming out, and I guess the game is 5v5 now, and the UI has changed, and they're changing people's loadouts and stuff like that, but you have to play it on PC, and they'll be doing, like, console things later, but they're just trying to get it all, they're just basically just trying to get, like, the hype back around Overwatch right now with this beta by getting the streamers. They're, like, inviting streamers, and they're inviting people through. You have to go watch people who are playing it, and then you can maybe get a Twitch drop to let you in, so then that's, like, building up buzz and pumping their numbers up, and I see the game. I know what game they're playing.
I may actually go and like watch someone's stream just to see like what it looks like and how it plays.
It looks pretty, but it looks so pretty that I don't know how they'll ever put it in Overwatch 1 the way they said they were. I feel like they're gonna have to like cut backstep on that. I don't see a way they can do it.
They may be able to do it if they do like a upgraded version. I guess you want to say like if they put out like a Series XS version and a PS5 version.
At that point, you should just do the thing that I say they should do with Warzone is just make Warzone. Don't make like an Overwatch 2. Like if you're gonna make an Overwatch 2 executable, it needs to have everything in it, and it doesn't need to like override the code of the Overwatch 1 thing. It should just be its own thing.
Yeah.
And they should just let Overwatch 1 die and just let it fade away into obscurity and not whatever, and just give me all my stuff in the new game and it's fine.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like I wouldn't care if Overwatch 1 never came back as long as I got to keep my skins and stuff that I got in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2.
Yes, correct.
Which I would hope that's what they will do or are doing.
They have said that, but they're also saying that like Overwatch 1's multiplayer is the same as Overwatch 2's, and they're getting all this stuff. And I'm like, one's 6v6, one's 5v5, and one of them looks completely different and runs at like 300 frame per second higher than the other one, so I don't know how you're gonna do that. But I feel
Yeah,
bad for
I
everybody
don't know
playing
how
on
to
the
do the same.
Switch. I don't know how you're gonna play on the Switch, but good luck. You're like, I moved here and now I'm here, and he's like, you nobody get you go. And you're just like,
to be honest, your first mistake was going, I'm going to play a online shooter on the Switch.
you know what? I agree with you. But there are people who are just like, it's all I have, and I like Overwatch, so I want to play on the Switch. It's like, that's cool, that's an option, but God bless you. Just, God bless you, my child.
I don't know how you do that, but yeah, good on you. I feel like you'd be the best person alive if you played on a decent console.
Yeah. Correct.
Put you on PC, you're going to better everybody because you're getting kills at 5 frames a second. I can only imagine what you'll do at 30.
Yes. So Elden Ring got a new patch that makes Melania not impossible.
Yeah, she had a glitch happening where even if she didn't touch you, she was regenerating health.
Yeah, correct.
And I was like, oh, because she's already bad enough. As someone who has beaten her, it sucks already. And the fact when she was like, yeah, you're rolling, but I'm still hitting you. And you're like, what?
Right.
Iframes? What are iframes?
Apparently, Lord of the Rings Online has had its highest player count in the last 10 years. They had a massive new update for Lord of the Rings Online for the 15th anniversary. They are apparently planning on upgrading the visuals and technicals the way they did for World of Warcraft. And they're going to be releasing a current generation console version. And they're doing all of this to breathe new life into this game that people are still playing after all these years because Amazon...
when the console versions or whatever comes out, I will try it. I will download it.
I liked it years ago, but it was one of those things where it was like, I
have never played it.
I have. It was fun. But Amazon was making their own game with Tencent, and that deal fell through to promote their new game. So they were like, well, we have this thing with this established player base that's been slowly enjoying this game for years. What if we just pump some new life into that? So they're now doing that to push Amazon's show, The Ring of Power, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So that's coming out. Also, just a random little tidbit here. Bunkers and Badasses now has a physical version of the board game.
Interesting.
I assume that's just D&D with flavor text.
Probably. I don't know if it comes with any special miniatures or anything like that.
I did not have enough time to look into that. That was the very last thing I wrote down was that's neat, and I did not actually take the time to fully look into that one, but I thought that was neat, and that's why I just kind of threw it in there. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that one more next week. I don't know, but for now, just know that exists if you want that, I guess.
I mean, we can go and look at it now if we wanted to, but...
I mean, if you want to look it up real quick while I talk about this next story, that's fine. You can pull it up on your phone or whatever. Final Fantasy VI Terra statue cost $13,800.
Yeah, I remember I heard about that, and it is
over 3 feet tall. It is a 1/6 scale, which makes it massive. However, it looks very cool. I don't know a single person who will buy this.
Yeah.
That is that you could buy a shitty house before the housing market went crazy for that much. You could buy a fixer-upper house. You can buy a car for that much. This Magitech armor is made of like PVC or something. Like, it's Terra in the Magitech armor from the cover art. It looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's super cool looking. No sane person could ever afford this. Which is not a thing.
Yeah.
So that was a neat thing that I saw on the internet and went, wow, capitalism,
well, for me, it's just
right?
Like, if I'm gonna buy a statue that's almost like $12,000, right? I feel like there's a lot of other statues I'd rather have.
Yeah, there's a promo statue for Metal Gear Solid 4 that is literally Solid Snake standing on a pillar, wearing his like suit that's changing him to look like the pillar, and he's basically posing while standing on this pillar, and it's old Snake, like, and like half of his body is turning into like the marble look, and he's like mid transformation. I would rather have that statue because last time I saw one of those it was like $3,000, and I was still like, man, I can't afford that, but if I could. I'd rather have that because it was a life-size Solid Snake on a pillar. It looked awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff like that, like just For me, a lot of the statues I want are usually like the smaller ones that are more
Yeah.
like, $1,200
Yeah.
instead of like 12,000.
Yeah. Or like I kind of like getting certain amiibos I like because they're just little, dudes that you just have.
But yeah, but apparently the Bunkers and Badasses is its own source book. I'm sure it's built on the back of probably like 5e.
I'm sure.
You can get the regular version for I think $60, and then the deluxe version comes with all kinds of like dice and miniatures and punch out cards and character sheets, and that's for like 120.
I apologize that I did not pull up the details on that one and look into that one fully, but I was too busy trying to figure out what the ICICB was for the Atari story.
Yeah, I was apparently there's an unboxing video you can go look at.
Okay.
That Randy Pitchford unboxes it.
Of course he does. He's like, East. I bought a castle, wizards.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I wonder if like in the unboxing, like all the every time he brings out a miniature, it's like, oh, it's behind his ear.
Yeah, he's just like, where's Tina? She's right here the whole time. You're like, weird. Randy, tone it down. Thumb drive. Watch it disappear. He throws it.
Like the whole thing just came out from like underneath a sheet. It's like obviously like lumped in, but he's like, what could be under here?
Right,
like,
yeah. You just see it like probably raising up as someone tries. You hear someone like complete. Can't get it to. He's like, oh,
yeah, it's floaty.
Yeah, correct.
Watch it levitate into position.
So,
if it would only hurry up.
So one little thing that is news that matters to me and you, GTA Online got an update and it fixes the radio.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah, so there was a bug in GTA Online where if you were in a party talking to someone in chat, it would break the radio. It would just turn it off and it would make all of your audio in the game sound like you were underwater. They fixed that in the latest patch, which is great. Thank you. Hallelujah.
Yeah, which is nice. Because now I can talk to my friends and not just be able to like and also enjoy the radio.
Correct.
Because sometimes you just want to do that.
Apparently that game, The Quarry, is going to have 186 endings, and everyone can survive if you want them to. When it says 186 endings, does that mean like every iteration of like text is it going to be actual meaningful endings, or is it going to be like Steve survived, so it's going to be like Steve went home to open a Home Depot in his hometown, and then he grew up and married 3 women, and they all killed him.
I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of crap. There's going to be like 3 decent endings and a lot of bullshit.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be like a modifier. It's gonna be like one of the endings is like Steve survived. One of them's gonna be like Steve died. One of them's gonna be like Steve survived, but he's missing an arm now. And it's like also Harriet
it just means
Mark,
there might be like
all
one
these people
word that's different.
Yeah, like all these people have different modifiers. So it's like, oh, there's all these endings. You're like, woo, cool, great, love it. Yeah. Correct. So I wonder about that.
So I feel like I will go for the endings that actually, make a difference and not just like this one person's missing a pinky toe.
I feel like we will play through that one, get the ending that we get, and call it.
Maybe.
Probably. I feel like that's how the game's designed to be. I mean, maybe in your own free time, play it for as many as you want. But I don't think I want to make a series on our channel that's just like, and we're gonna get every single ending, bro. Like, no way.
That would be a long series.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, thank you. That sounds terrible. So I don't want to do that. I want to play through that game. I want to play through those the Man and Medan, the Dark Pictures, and all that stuff. Like, I want to do that at some point. Play through
those are games I've thought about going back and getting different endings, but I'm just like, or I won't.
Yeah,
probably not.
So I want to play through those at some point because I've not played them because I wanted to contentify that playthrough because I can get a genuine reaction. Also, Dying Light 2 is getting an update that is kind of substantial. They're getting a free update. It is adding New Game Plus. New Game Plus is adding new content. It is adding elemental goons, which is like a new type of enemy. It is going to add in 30 new inhibitors for you to get so you can level up your character more.
Good Lord.
And they will be adding in the legendary loot weapon tier.
Is there not enough inhibitors already to like level up all your stats?
They're pushing they're like expanding
how much you can do it. Okay.
Yeah. So, and also legendary weapons are now a thing, which is pretty exciting.
I mean, sure. for the break.
And then, so that's that. And I think I have two stories left. One of them is, you remember how we were talking about the new PlayStation Plus thing?
Yeah.
So PlayStation Plus is how they had like the tier that's like, and you'll have trials or whatever. Well, apparently that has come out, and how that is going to work is
actually clarifying what that actually means.
PlayStation will force all video game developers that have a retail price above $34 to have at least a 2-hour timed demo available.
That's not going to go over well with some of those developers, I'm sure.
Red wine, something to me. Sorry, it's fucking so loud. It's so loud.
With that demo, does it mean they actually have to like craft a demo, or it's like we'll just give you the first 2 hours of the game? Because I'm thinking it's more the second one than the first.
I mean, it's basically you're playing through the first 2 hours of the game as a trial.
I know, but when they
say
to craft a demo does not, because I remember back in the day demos
it's not like, it's like you literally have to set up a time trial on your game's executable so they can play the first 2 hours. That's basically what it is.
So
which sounds way easier than cutting a slice of the pie out. But still,
that's what Xbox used to do with the arcade stuff, where you could play until you got an achievement or whatever, and like, hey, if you want all this stuff, you could buy the game.
Right.
And
there were some games that you actually got extra bonus shit you couldn't get in the actual game if you played the trial and then bought it. Instead of just buying the game, you wouldn't get as much cool stuff. It was like you had to get the incentive from doing the thing.
Yeah.
But they're going to be doing that. And $34 is a weird price. I don't know if that's like retail or if it's like behind the scenes or what that is, but like that's a really weird price. But that's the thing. So I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. I mean, if it goes well, I mean, that's not a bad incentive for people for your online.
No, but it's still weird. No, but it's still weird. Because then it's like you're now putting out trials on your service for every game that's above that price, which means that only your service has these time trials now. So then you basically just like own a PS5 to go play demos, and then you'd be like, oh, I liked that game the first 2 hours. Go buy it on my Xbox, like, because if that's where your community is,
especially for like some of like the stuff you're more on the fence about, or some of the weirder stuff, being able to play like the first 2 hours of the game, would give you a real good idea of like if you'll enjoy that, instead of having to drop the $40 and be like, oh, it turns out not a fan.
It's true. You're not wrong.
Because I mean, we've all had that sort of experience where we get a game, we think we're going to like it,
and
then we get into it and we're like, oh no, this is not, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah,
oh, no.
I've had that happening. I've had that happen before so many times. I was trying to think of an actual example, but like I can't really think of one off the top of my head. But for me, it was
Dying Light 2.
Sure.
Most recently, anyway.
Yeah, I really like that game. So like, and apparently so does everyone else but you. You're the only person who doesn't like that game, apparently.
Oh, what you want from me, man? I just don't enjoy it. I don't know what it is.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, it's not that it's a bad game. You're just in the minority. You're just very, like, didn't like it. I get it. Yeah. So a new game. This is the last story that I have. A new game trailer released. Looks really awesome. It's called Disney Dreamlight Valley. It is a Disney Stardew Valley game. You have a farm, you have all the Disney characters, but you can actually be an adult in this game and not a kid. You can there's like the Sword in the Stone characters, Chip and Dale, Mickey, Castles, Goofy, Monsters Inc., like Moana. There's everything is in this. It looks like a Kingdom Hearts Stardew Valley game in a way that I'm like, this won't have some weird obtuse story that takes like really, really long 400 games that are named like Disney Dreamlight Valley 458.
The plot. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks fun. I would hope so.
Is it going to be like a free to play?
I will see. So I don't know, because I've tried to look it up and they just keep saying wish list it. We're not letting it be for pre-order yet. But at the same time, we know that it's coming to pretty much every console, including the Switch, and it's going to be on Game Pass day one. So is it a free-to-play Game Pass game? Because that seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. For the thing I'm talking about is like, I hope it's an actual game where everything's in the game and not like, oh yeah, you could play as these two characters, but if you want anything you actually want, give us $20.
Well, so you're playing as your character. You make a character,
Right.
and like the Disney characters are in the universe. Like you can actually, there's a cooking mini game. You can cook with like Remy from Ratatouille. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like I saw fishing with Goofy. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, okay. Sign me up day one, baby. I'm in. Teacher. I volunteer.
As long as he does the perfect cast, I'm in.
Right. Yeah.
If he doesn't do the perfect cast, then this game is already like, a 1 out of 10. Perfect cast, 10 out of 10.
Do the perfect cast. I'm just glad they have that emote in Destiny too. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that game looks good. You should. I'll send you the trailer and you can watch it after we're done here.
Sure.
But that game looks super cool so far. But I am scared of it because it's a Gameloft game. It looks like, which is the only thing that scares me. Because Gameloft is also the one doing that free to play like Disney Mario Kart game, and like this game looks way better than that one. But Gameloft has been known to kind of do some free-to-play shovelly games at certain points, which kind of scares me, but also this game looks way better than everything else they've ever done, so I'm kind of like, okay, maybe this is where it is, and that one is like B-Team or something. I don't know. So,
and maybe I'll play this game, or maybe it'll be like Stardew Valley, where I play it for all of 10 minutes and go, not for me.
Yeah, like, I will give this, we'll probably have to do a hands-on of this when it comes out.
I harvest a melon, and I'm like, nah, this is the game, huh?
Right. So that is all I've got. That's all I've got. I finally wiped it all out. But
I think this has been our like shortest news week.
Yes, yeah, it was like almost a page of news. It was not 4 pages of news. So that's neat.
Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, you're good. Trains and music, everything's happening. So last week's episode was a little longer. This week's episode will probably be a little shorter because, again, we don't have anything else to talk about. We're kind of, out of, we've already had our discussion or whatever. And everything out here.
Oh, yeah, it has just been going off. You're having a train party over there.
Yeah,
like they're having a party for the train that's rolling through the
apologize. Street. I can't. I can only be as quiet as I can be. I can't dictate what everybody else does. So,
Just get a bunch of speakers and pipe our podcast at them in kind.
God,
like, if I gotta listen to your music, you will listen to my content.
Like, literally, if you're gonna start playing that shit, I'm gonna start playing the first 15 seconds of that song from Kill Bill where it's just the siren.
Or just give them our Sea of Thieves experience and just do that stinger.
Oh my god. They're like, oh, the music turned down. It's like not enough for them to be able to tell where it's coming from. It's just every 3 minutes they hear 2 notes and they're like,
what was that? Am I going insane?
What is it on my face? No, I don't know. Absolutely. But
yeah. But this has been fun either way.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a good episode. We've covered a lot. We've talked about the news. We've done the whole thing. I want to go play Call of Duty. I just being honest, I don't. Given the 2 right now, I know I have things to do in Sea of Thieves, but boy, I don't care. I kind of want to wait until like the day before that event ends, and then go see if people are like trying to rush in at the last minute to do it.
Sure.
Be like, I'll help you summon. Let's go. I'll give you a quest to 3. So I don't want to sit there, and I feel like in the middle of the event is like the worst time to ever try to do it. It's still going for like 3 weeks though, so we're not even there yet. I was going to say, we're literally not even there yet. I don't even know. It's just nuts. It's like everyone did it day 1, and they're like, well, that's sorted.
Yeah, it's probably because of all the shit that we were just talking about, where they're like, I don't want to do that again. Like, it's not a thing I want to do.
Correct. Yeah. They're like, I already got the title. I don't want to help you. Because that's how it is. Like, but what have you done for me lately? On that note, thank you so much for watching or listening, however you're listening to this on the Apple, the SoundCloud, the YouTube, if you're watching
whether
this
you are or are not seeing our faces.
Correct. If you're not, just know there is a video version on YouTube that you can go enjoy for free. I've been Dead Action Jones. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to put the name tags on the video version because I've been putting them on the other. So this is the first, so I'll put those on as soon as we're done with this. I'll put those on for the next one. Oh my God, my song is playing outside right now. Guilty feet ain't got no rhythm.
All right, so he's gonna play us out apparently. But you know, if you like all this, you know, you download us on SoundCloud. We're on Apple Podcasts, and you can of course find us on YouTube. You know, hit that subscribe button if you like our videos. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Hit the bell for all the notifications and stuff. We are of course still standing, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.
The way I dance with you.